제 전부서던 힘이죠. 오늘 뭐는 전부가 되었다. 아그러다는 전도 실물도 또 나도 제잖아 기좀 사람의 저러 증이 장근서 저거 특기 선로 열라면 이제 본조장로 소란 공기 도반 보러 신지로
The supreme, profound, and sublime Dharma is difficult to encounter in a billion eons. Now I see it, hear it, receive it, and capture it. I vow to attain the true meaning of the Tathagata. In order to liberate all sentient beings, let us generate supreme bodhicitta.
Good. So let's take a look at a journey to the West. Today's class is the 55th class. This year we didn't complete the entire teachings, but at least we almost finished the first volume. So Ponzo Rinpoche continued to say that now you have received the transmission. When you put them into the actual practice, remember that there are three indispensable conditions you must possess. They are faith, compassion, and the view on emptiness. First, it is essential for you to develop the three types of faith, which are the vivid faith in the jewel of Buddha, eager faith in the jewel of the Dharma, and confident faith in the jewel of Sangha. Well, in terms of taking refuge and in terms of talking about faith, Ponzo Rinpoche also had given teachings in the later part, and then also talked about it in the second volume when he gave the teachings in Canada. And then also Ponzo Rinpoche talked about it in the wish-fulfilling treasury as well. The second aspect is that you must cultivate loving kindness and compassion toward all sentient beings who are experiencing endless suffering and wish them to be free of suffering. Third, whether it comes to be the practice of generation stage, completion stage, or the great perfection, you must be equipped with the supreme view on the emptiness that transcends all extremes. With these three prerequisites, when you engage in the actual practice, you should abide in the view of primordial purity through the practice of Trekcho, elicit the unobstructed power of spontaneous presence through the practice of Togo, and then chant these two liturgies. The liturgy for the practice should be endowed with the three essentials. What are they then? The source of the liturgy should be combined with the tantra, because the practice sadhana, the liturgy has to be in line with the tantra, and then the tantra should be combined with the means of attainment, and the means of attainment should be combined with the Guru's peace instructions. In fact, I talked about it in class as well, but I'm not sure if you remember. Nowadays, whenever you practice the liturgy, you have to practice the liturgy that's composed by the enlightened ones, by the ones with attainment. You cannot practice upon the liturgy that's composed by yourself. Although some guidance originally existed in the Tantra without peace instruction from a sublime guru, and by the merely referring to the Tantra, it is hard to put those teachings into actual practice. That is why you need to have a complete sadhana for your own practice. The means for attainment should follow the tradition of the sublime gurus. Take Nyingma tradition. The Nyingma traditional teachings, for example, any practice of the Nyingma school should be in accordance with the tradition of Dorje Dragha Mingyur Ling and Pari monasteries in Upper Tibet. Now, these three are the very well-known ones in the Upper Tibet, and then Katok, Paoyu, and Dzogchen monasteries in Lower Tibet. This is an example in terms of Upper and Lower Tibet in terms of the location. These six are the most well-known. Moreover, tradition should be followed by the means of transmission of direct experience with the master, meaning seeing firsthand the guru's entire process of reciting and practicing. So the transmission of direct experience, what does that mean? That means, well, Ponso Rinpoche, for example, the chanting tradition that we have is through the combination of the direct experience transmission of Ponso Rinpoche. And Ponso Rinpoche received it from Toka Rinpoche, and then Toka Rinpoche from also Mipa Rinpoche. It is not that you hold a sadhana and started reading it without any oral transmission. That is not in line with the tradition of the Tantra, nor with the path instruction of the Lama, nor the direct experience transmission. So it follows step by step. You have to follow all of these. Otherwise, to merely go through the procedure by casually following the general principles will fail to grasp the essential meaning. Or simply speaking, you can chant these two liturgies by following the commission of any school, such as Gilu, Nyingma, Shakya, and Kagyu, Junan, and others. All the different kinds of schools have the different particular custom in their practice. Even if you do not understand the exact meaning, you can just chant the liturgy and then recite as much as possible the mantra of Manjushri. So Ponso Rinpoche practiced the tok offering as such. So today we're going to practice, and I've already told them how to do it. When you're chanting the mantras, the mantra of Manjushri Marapatanade or the mantra of Vajrakilaya, Om Vajrakilaya Humpat, in the end, make dedication accordingly. Practicing the two liturgies in this way is acceptable. Now let's complete this year's class by reading the next part, which is the trip that was almost cancelled. Previously, when we were at Rocky Mountain Dharma Center, Choji's health was already declining. After we arrived in Napa Valley, he became so sick that he could barely fall asleep at night. As Rinpoche's disciple, we got really worried and had no idea what to do. Ponso Rinpoche, after getting off from Rocky Mountains and then went to Napa Valley, he lost quite a bit of weight because he couldn't fall asleep at night and didn't eat very well. So we discussed the issue many times in private because there were still a lot of places to visit and many teachings to give. But if we continue, we were afraid Choji's health would become compromised because there were still over half of the stops that we had to go through. We only were at the fourth stop. Initially, Ponso Rinpoche was supposed to go to 12 places. So there's England and the Netherlands. We were already out for 1 month, and Ponso Rinpoche was quite tired, and his health was declining, so everyone was quite worried. The 12th of July in the morning, we had a meeting with Yijin Norwu to see if the rest of the schedule should be cancelled. At that time, we split our opinions into two. We should continue and we shouldn't, and then later to 3. Learning our concerns, Khenpo Rinpoche did not say anything. He called the organizers of the trip and suggested that we should suggest this issue together. Some people said that because the itinerary for the world tour had already been publicized globally and the site for each teaching had been booked. Everything's posted, the the information was sent and all the different kinds of venues were booked and paid. And people, the audience already paid for the ticket as well. So the trip should not be cancelled. Others said that it would be too tiring for Choji to continue his Dharma trip, and his health was much more important than anything else. So it was better to cancel the balance of the schedule. I'm not going to disclose my personal opinion. I was one of the two. So there were two conflicting opinions, and I was one of them, and each side stuck to their own ideas without a compromise.
就是堪布南州我们几个也是有点不同的这个观点，这样的各方这个支持意见。
Both the hosts as well as all of the retinues of Phuntsok Rinpoche all had different opinions. Even Kampung Namdro and me had different ideas. And then Kay Henry, as you can see that there's a photo of her.
不同的这个方式呢，让他就是后面就是念破啊的那个地方呢，他也出现。
You can see her photo of her younger age in the later part of the book as well.
很好的，就是
She is a great practitioner, and she played quite an important role in this whole trip as well. So many of the itineraries and the different kinds of communications were done because of her. Then we sent for Kay Henry and consulted her opinion, because she was delegated by His Holiness Panur Rinpoche, and Gyatso Rinpoche was our Western liaison and organizer. Hearing the issue, she almost fainted, because it had taken her month to contact the different centers to prepare the entire trip, and it had not been easy for her to raise funds for our plane tickets and all other expenses. The different centers weren't that well endowed, so to speak, because they were not financially that capable to pay for Phuntsok Rinpoche's plane tickets and so on. And at that time, we were not able to pay for the airplane tickets, especially when you convert those pricings from US dollars to RMB. We couldn't afford it at all. So Kay was the one who raised funds and bought the tickets and did all of those. At that time, Kay replied from her heart. When I heard her response, I was quite surprised. She was really wise. She said that the health of His Holiness is our primary concern, and if it is necessary, we can immediately cancel the rest of the itinerary. But I know that hundreds of thousands of people are looking forward to meeting Rinpoche and have made all sorts of preparations for his arrival to teach the Dharma. Therefore, if there is anything we can do to improve the quality of the meals or to help to improve Rinpoche's health, please let us know. She didn't say no, and she didn't say yes, but she had a leaning, and so she said that if the health is really declining, we can cancel it at any time. But if you decide to continue with the trip, we will try our very best to improve the quality of the health of Rinpoche. So we will try our best to make any improvements so that the trip can continue and numerous sentient beings and devotees can benefit from Rinpoche's presence. Having heard her words, Rinpoche then fell silent for a while and then discussed the matter with us again. After another 10 minutes or so of discussion, he said firmly to us, "I will continue my trip." So for the journey to the West, we will put a pause to it. And I think this is a really auspicious dependent arising that we stop at a place where Phuntsok Rinpoche firmly said to us that I will continue my trip. And I think we should remember that I will continue. There were various kinds of things that had happened, and this happening now. There are different kinds of causes and conditions that nearly made us to stop our teaching, to not able to make it to Larangar, or various kinds of things could stop us. But over here, Rinpoche said that I will continue. This is really auspicious, and I think we should remember it. Well, next year, without any obstacles, hopefully I will also continue with a journey to the West. I'm not quite sure when I will continue next year. As long as we're still alive, I will continue with this teaching. Let us now begin our Tsok offering together, a Tsok offering of Phuntsok Rinpoche, and we should invite all of the Dharma protectors and all the Buddhism Bodhisattvas and great masters to our grand Tsok offering. We should make all kinds of offerings to them. At the same time, let us make confession, all kinds of misdeeds that we've done during the process of studying the Tantra, the Vajrayana teachings. Those of you who were disrespectful to your fellow Vajra Sangha, to the Vajra Guru, and to the ones who didn't keep secrets and so on, let us to confess all kinds of misdeeds in front of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, as well as protectors and deities. May they continuously to protect us, to grant us blessings so that we can practice without obstacles, and may we all enjoy health, happiness, and peace in all different aspects. Let us now practice together.